Serving Dark Lord of the Sith for over 4 decades and Emperor of the Galactic Empire, Palpatine is an individual who requires no introduction inside or outside of the Star Wars universe. He is one of, if not the most powerful Sith Lord who has ever lived. Palpatine's cunning and command over the dark side of the Force has brought millions to their knees, as well as their feet, as they cheered at his mighty power and influence. But naturally, when one is shrouded by great darkness, many facts about them are lesser known, and today we will count down 10 crazy facts about Palpatine. Number 10. He was born and raised on Naboo, the same planet we see in The Phantom Menace, and the same planet both Padme Amidala and Jar Jar Binks originate. Palpatine was born to a wealthy and powerful household. That being said, although among the most influential members of Naboo, they were far from the most powerful. At a young age, Palpatine implored his father to become involved in politics, reaching for power even before claiming the title of Sith Lord. Because his family initially refused his wishes, Palpatine grew to despise them, particularly his father, who he deemed weak. Number 9. He doesn't believe the Sith should require lightsabers, and sees himself as above them. Although Palpatine uses and has several lightsabers in his possession, according to him, he only continues to use the weapon as an insult to the Jedi, showing the Jedi he is superior with the weapon despite the fact that he doesn't even need it. To put it simply, Palpatine believes his Force abilities are more than enough to handle any opponent. After his rise as Emperor and Jedi became a more rare occurrence in the galaxy, Palpatine began using the weapon less and less, although he always had at least one on him at all times. Despite his views on the weapon, his lightsabers were constructed using the finest materials and outfitted with an electrum trim, a rare metal used in jewelry in the Star Wars universe. And although it was not his favorite pastime, Palpatine grew to be a master duelist. Number 8. In Legends continuity, Palpatine never planned on being overthrown, or even dying. After his apparent death over Endor, it was revealed years later the spirit of Palpatine discovered how to return from the dead. It was also revealed for decades Palpatine had amassed an army of clones of himself, so that he could possess them and essentially rule the galaxy forever. Although originally Vader was intended to one day overthrow him and the rule of two continue, after his injuries on Mustafar, Palpatine determined he would never be powerful enough to destroy him. Number 7. Palpatine may have inadvertently created Anakin with his Master Plagueis. While Palpatine was off rising through the ranks of the Senate, his Master Plagueis was desperately trying to learn how to create life in an attempt to live forever. Plagueis eventually achieved this through manipulating the midichlorians. When Palpatine met with his master, he had grown weary of his obsession with life and death, but was silenced when he witnessed Plagueis actually bring someone back from the dead. Together, the two Sith then began a ritual that sent large amounts of dark-side energy throughout the galaxy. This ritual successfully managed to cloud the view of the Jedi and diminish their ability to use the Force. However, the Force itself retaliated, creating a being born purely out of it that one day was destined to finally destroy the Sith. That being's name was Anakin Skywalker. Number 6. In canon, Palpatine originally wanted Mother Talzin as his apprentice. Before he would take Mother Talzin's son Maul as his apprentice, he arrived on Dathomir to ask Talzin to join him. The two for a time actually got along quite well as their ambitions were similar, but it became noticeably apparent Palpatine was far more powerful than the Night Sister. It was also clear the two wielded similar but yet different versions of the Force, as Talzin was more ritual oriented and Palpatine commanded more raw power in the dark side. After seeing Maul, Palpatine requested he take the boy as his apprentice instead of Talzin, but still offered her a role and power in his new empire. Partially out of lust for the power and fear of Palpatine, Talzin agreed. Number 5. Palpatine was compelled to murder his entire family before becoming a Sith Lord. As a younger man and student, Palpatine met Higo Damask, who was secretly the Sith Lord Darth Plagueis. Over several years, Palpatine and his father had argued and fought over the future of Naboo and politics, debating whether it should join the larger government of the Republic or remain more isolated. When Naboo was nearing a new election, Palpatine's father sent him away, and concerned, Palpatine reached out to Plagueis, as the two had become close friends. After discovering this, and Plagueis' own role in the election, Palpatine's father, along with his family, personally ventured to Palpatine, ordering him to remove himself and study even farther from home. As the two began to argue profusely, Palpatine's father confessed he wished Palpatine was dead, and that he should have killed his son long ago. Finally embracing the darkness within him, Palpatine used the Force to massacre his entire family as a result. Following the murders, Palpatine again reached out to Plagueis, who revealed all to him and informed him about the Order of the Sith and opportunity to achieve unlimited power. Number 4. He stopped caring about the Empire after becoming Emperor. After Palpatine took control of the galaxy and the Jedi seemingly died out, for the first few years Palpatine was a more present ruler, but as time progressed he began becoming bored with his position of power. At one point, Palpatine was wandering the halls of an Imperial stronghold, wondering what his master would have thought of ruling, as he found it mundane. Palpatine would later confess he was a machine built and designed to conquer the galaxy, but never rule it. As more time passed, he became more and more reclusive, spending days practicing with his Force abilities and next to no time governing the galaxy. Number 3. He wore Sith robes when declaring himself the new Emperor. Following his duel with Mace Windu, Palpatine explained his disfigured face as an assassination attempt, and that because the Jedi proved themselves traitors, he deemed it necessary to become the new Emperor. Palpatine promised the galaxy peace, and the majority of the Senate loyally went along with their now former Chancellor. When delivering his speech to the Senate, Palpatine actually chose to wear a pair of his Sith robes as a final insult to the democracy he seemingly served, and the Jedi, as finally the Sith ruled the galaxy once more. Because the robes were so rare, Palpatine was confident no one would recognize them, and of course, he was correct, and no one did. Number 2. Darth Plagueis had no plans for an apprentice until meeting Palpatine. When Plagueis killed his own Sith master, Darth Tenebris, he explained he believed he was the Sith that was going to rule the galaxy forever and fulfill what Lord Bane started thousands of years ago. In his master's dying moments, Plagueis revealed his plans not to take an apprentice of his own, as he saw no need for it. However, after hearing of and finally meeting a young Palpatine, Plagueis could not resist training the boy, as his connection with the dark side and his natural thirst for blood and power fascinated the Sith Lord. Although not his original plan, Plagueis thought it a great tragedy to disobey what he saw the dark side willing him to follow. Little did he know he was not training a partner, but a successor. Number 1. Near the end of his final life and clone, Palpatine attempted to become a Skywalker. After his clones failed him, Palpatine tried to possess the baby Anakin Solo in a last effort to achieve immortality. After Palpatine's return from the grave, he managed to turn Luke Skywalker to the dark side for a time. Eventually, Luke retaliated though and destroyed the majority of Palpatine's clones. In a final attack against the Republic and New Jedi, Leia successfully fully brought her brother back to the light, and Luke defeated Palpatine in one last lightsaber duel. After this final defeat, Palpatine attempted to possess the body of Leia's infant son, Anakin Solo, but with the combined strength of all the Skywalkers united in the light side, Palpatine met his final fate 6 years after his original body was destroyed on the second Death Star. This marked Palpatine's final defeat and complete destruction of his spirit. So those are 10 pretty crazy facts about the Sith Lord Darth Sidious. So tell me what you think. Is Sidious your favorite Sith, and what facts about him did I miss? Suggest in the comments more Star Wars characters you would like to see facts on, and if you enjoyed and want to see more fact videos, be sure to leave a like. If you would like to interact with me directly and ask questions, be sure to follow me on Twitter at @StupendousWave. If you haven't yet, maybe consider subscribing to ensure you stay up to date with everything Star Wars related. Thanks so much for watching, may the Force be with you, and have a great day.